Here we go on the internet. Joe the Super Cow. I really hope that is your real name in real life and not just a Twitch name. Hello, everybody. Welcome to JXE Streams. My name is Anthony John Agnello, streams producer here at Engadget.com. And today, I am back with one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Jess Condit. Hello, Jess Condit.
Oh, that's me. You're, you know, I'm one of my favorite people in the world too.
Are you?
I am.
That's good, Jess. You and I, we're gonna collaborate on a children's book, a picture book called "I Am My Favorite Person in the World," and inside, it's gonna seem like it's one of those self-esteem building things, but when you open it and start reading, it's really gonna be like you're not that great. Just get over it.
It's really sad. It's really depressing.
Yeah, it's like a bummer. It's just a nihilist picture book. It's like, guys, you just gotta get used to it. Like, life's a bummer, and
it sucks. I'm the best there is, but it's not very good.
It's a pop-up book though, so you pull a tab, and it's just like the word bummer just pops out of the book. Kids love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, we're playing a game that I don't think looks like a bummer. I think this game looks really, really cool.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It is really good looking. And hello, Elman Bistio and Orin Alchemist and Hoplon42 and Atlanta RD and Smelly Tunic and Something Mimic and all the wonderful people who are watching Duelist today. So, Jess, before this, were you familiar with Duelist at all?
I feel like I've heard it, but I have no idea what I'm going to be doing today. So
yeah, well, neither do I. In fact, I have very intentionally not played Duelist before today, so that we could figure this out together. And hello, Robot Rocker and Laser Lancer 5 and all these look at all these wonderful people that are already hanging out today, Jess. Our chat is chock full. Dresbo. I like you can call me Dresbo. Is exactly Dresbo. I really hope you have that tattooed above your navel. I wanted to say that you can call me Dresbo.
It's a good pickup line.
It is. It really. I don't know how I would react. I would probably let that person buy me a drink.
Yeah.
But so Duelist. Duelist was I got contacted by the folks who've made this at Counterplay Games, and one of whom, Keith Lee, who worked on Diablo 3 once upon a time. Keith is going to be joining us in half an hour to talk about his game and sort of give us some finer points. But my understanding is that this is a cross between a collectible card game a la Hearthstone and a turn-based tactics game in the vein of Advance Wars, and a game that you were just talking about earlier today, Jess, Skulls of the Shogun, which I love that. I love that game, and so I'm really not a card guy. I'm not into collectible card games, but I am really a big fan of that style of strategy game.
Do you do like Hearthstone or anything like that?
I'm not a card guy. I'm not a card game guy at all.
Yeah. I've barely touched Hearthstone. The boyfriend likes it a lot, so I've seen it. But yeah, I'm not. I don't do much of this either, so this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. So I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna click play, and so Jess and I are both in the game today. We're probably gonna end up playing each other. Some folks are saying the screen is clipped. Alright guys, hold on one second. I can see that as well.
Oh yeah.
I am going to... Let's see here. Let's see if I can adjust...
Thanks for...
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks
everyone.
for letting us know, everyone. Very good.
Reset
We're all
size.
in this together.
Let me resize it. OBS.
OBS. I've said that before.
Come on.
OBS.
Wait, here we go.
How many Hearthstone fans do we have in the chat? Raise your hands. Don't type anything, just raise your hands. We'll feel it. Like, physically. It'll be great.
Jess, do you wanna fight each other before we even learn how to play? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Do you want to do that? All right. Well, hold on 1 second while I try to adjust. Here we go. There. Yeah, I guess that'll do. Everybody, I hope you don't mind if there is an address bar at the top of the screen. But that will at least make sure that we can see everything.
Yeah.
Alright, Jess, let me add friends. Add a friend. And, can you send me your friend name, Jess?
I can. Let's see. How do I... Do I have to go back to do this?
It's in the main menu.
Okay, I'm in the main menu. Gotcha. Oh, not my spirit cards. I don't know what my spirit orbs are. Nope.
Jess, stop! No, it's not your spirit orbs. Yes, Yodel, you should wave your hands like you just don't care.
Thank
Please.
you guys for waving your hands. What main menu?
So on
friends menu. Oh, up.
It's the it's in the upper right-hand corner.
I see. My little Skype bar was blocking it.
So this is the other thing. I don't know about you, Jess, but how many games do you play that are browser games? Crow Die Slow! Crow Die Slow! Where the hell you been, man? One of our favorite regulars is hanging out in the chat. I am very excited to see Crow Die Slow. Hello, Crow Die Slow.
Friend request. Yeah. Oh, that's true. The URL's up. Yeah, whatever. You need an alpha code to actually play this. Everyone.
You do, yeah. You do need an alpha code to play it.
Yeah, no, I play Pottermore very regularly, and that is the browser game that I play.
But do we consider that a game?
That is a great question, and I've done a live stream, and I asked that very question, but there was really no consensus. I'm not sure.
Challenge. Jess, I'm challenging you.
Oh, I accepted that.
Yes,
right.
let's do this.
Select a deck.
We have no idea how to play this at all. The folks... the folks at Counterplay Games sent us like a guide, a beginner's guide for Duelist, and we were like, no, we're good.
I have it open.
I'm not using it, and that's not how I'm doing this. I'm gonna go with Magmar aspects.
Damn, I was just hovering over that one.
Look at this dude. Look at him with his. I mean, are those wings? Or are those arms?
They're horns, right?
Oh, look at why are you like a sexy anime lady?
Because I chose the purple option.
I want to be. I didn't know that sexy anime ladies were on the table.
Well, see, I'm just going with my gut feeling. I'm really just gonna click whatever is prettiest on my screen, and I think I'm gonna win that way.
Opponent connected, confirmed.
Confirmed. Wait, yeah, confirmed. Okay.
Let's do this. So, all right, I am going to go ahead and assume that down here is like the random things we've drawn from our deck. And since we're using starter decks, so the only collectible card game I've ever played is Magic the Gathering.
Right.
So I am going to go ahead and assume that these are the things that we have just drawn. And we have our little life bars here at the top. I'm hovering over my little dude here. All right. Guy, I'm gonna move right forward. My Dragon Man is gonna walk right at you.
All right.
And let's see. Can I use? Oh, all right. Wait, no.
Yeah, it's still your turn, right?
Not enough mana. All right, I do not have enough mana. Oh, I see. All right, so I only have 2 mana. I'm picking this up.
Ooh, my turn. Okay.
Figuring things out. Oh, Keystone 88. The blue crystals are your mana, not the life bar. You both have 25 health. So we start with 2 mana.
Okay.
Or at least Dragon Man starts with 2 mana.
So I can go forward, but I feel like you will be able to go right there. No, that's a good move for me. I'm gonna do this.
We've got a whole lot of friend requests coming in.
I know.
Yeah. Everybody who wants to be our Duelist friends, please be our Duelist friends. We are ready for Duelist friendship.
We're super ready. Oh, so I only have 2 mana.
Yeah, you only have 2 mana.
Gotcha. So
I bet you think you're gonna get all up in this mana ball, but let me tell you what, you're gonna get another thing coming. I'm gonna get
Should.
right.
Let's see it.
I'm walking up there. My little dragon man's gonna get up in this ball's business.
No.
Yep. And give me that. Oh no, I have to be on it.
Haha.
This sucks.
Get your hands off my ball.
Alright, what do you think about this, son?
No.
BAM! I summoned a dude directly onto that ball.
That's awful.
Robot Rocker. Oh, the Robot Rocker. Player start 2 starts with 3 mana. And Dom 2D, how did we get alpha codes? We have alpha codes because we're going to be playing Duelist with the developer of Duelist in just a few more minutes, Mr. Keith Lee. Pockturn wants to be my friend. Yeah! Everybody can be our friends.
Are you accepting? I'm accepting.
Yeah, I'm accepting. I'm just accepting all the friend requests forever. Yeah. So if you guys want to be our buddies, please.
Okay. So
yes.
Here.
Keisto88. Is that you, Keith? Is that who you are? Keisto88. Is that what's happening? Keisto88 says the artwork spreads are made by, I can never pronounce this dude's name right because I've encountered it multiple times. It's Glauber Kotaki, and he is the individual who did the art for Rogue Legacy, which is an absolute wonderful platformer, roguelike platformer, which is so good. And that is Keith. That is Keisto88 is none other than Keith Lee himself, who's going to be joining us in just a few minutes. Keith, stop giving us spoilers about how to play your game, man. Come on. Let us figure it out. We'll figure it out. Alright, I'm gonna get...
Yeah?
Guess what, Lilith Blightcaster? Or is it Lilive? Is it Lilive?
It's... technically Lilive.
Yeah, it's Lilive. Hey, Lilive. Boom!
Yeah, yeah, I attack you back.
I don't want any of it. Oh, you killed me.
You can't handle it, is basically, yeah.
Oh, no. Alright, so that's what I get for being a scrub and trying to get right up in your business.
Yeah.
Bam! And I attacked your scrub, dude. And I have some mana left, so I'm gonna bring in this Blood Tier Alchemist and see what he has to say about life. Choose a target.
This game is so pretty.
Yeah,
I love this.
This game is...
The colors are gorgeous, yeah.
It's literally, like, this is what I imagine people in the world of Bastion do for fun.
Yes!
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, Transistor and Bastion, they just kind of, they hang out here. Okay, so if I put a minion on the mana thing, that minion gets the mana? Or...
Yes. No, you get the mana. Like, your team
okay.
has the mana.
I like that, so I'm gonna do that first. Here we go. Oh, yay, mana!
So, Dangledoo in the chat has basically said the thing that got my attention with this game. He goes, "Did somebody mention Final Fantasy Tactics? That's the best game in the world." And yes. Hey, what the hell, Jess?
Oh, I'm just winning. Don't worry about it.
Did you just turn me into one of your guys?
Oh, yeah.
It's some bullshit. How are you? Why? Oh, wait, click on the character portrait and you can send emotes at each other. Oh, dunk.
Yes.
Here, you get this. I'm gonna give you an Eskimo... Eskimo kisses? Is that what's happening? Oh, wait, why do I get the girl from Invader Zim back? That's bullshit, Jess. I don't want that.
Oh, these are great. This looks very, very, have you ever read Chew, the comic book?
Oh, yeah, they do look like Chew characters,
Don't
yeah.
they? A little
totally
bit.
Accurate.
I love it. Just a little.
Alright, I'm bringing in a dude here.
Do it, do it.
And he's had it. He's had it with your nonsense. So he's gonna jack up your... Oh, no, wait, no, he's not. He's not gonna do any of that. My main guy is gonna go get up in this mana orb, because he's tired of you orbing around. And I'm going to end the turn. Killer Cake in the chat has just pointed something out, Jess. The faction that you are playing as is kind of considered overpowered. So
Awesome.
your anime sex pot is some bullshit, and my dragon people have been kept down by her for too long, and that's the narrative. That's the narrative I've just created. Your dragon people are always kept down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The other day, oh
Ouch.
snap! That's what you get.
Ouch.
How do you like that little counterattack? I did that on purpose.
Do not enjoy. You know how much I don't like it?
Don't do that.
That much.
Dark transformation. No.
Womp womp.
Oh, this sucks.
I love that. That's so good.
The animation on the transformation is pretty sweet, I gotta say. Oh,
Yeah, it's not bad.
Stop!
And then that one's dead.
Stop hitting my dude, okay?
You know what? Get your hands off my balls, and I won't hit your dude. How about that?
You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, Duelist is a game wherein you will yell, "Get your hands off my balls, and I'll stop hitting your dude." So there you go. There you go forever, everybody.
Put that on the box.
On the back of the box. On the back of the Atari 2600 box.
Exactly.
I'm gonna openly admit that I'm angry that I cannot play this game on Game Boy Advance.
That's a strange thing to admit, but I appreciate your honesty.
Okay, here we go. I have some different options here in my deck. There are Storm Metal Golems. It's not a Wraithling. Wraithlings are what you turned my dudes into, right?
I think so.
Oh, your general gets...
Yeah.
Yeah, frick yeah, I'm gonna use Adamantite Claws. They're not actually Adamantium Claws, but they're Adamantite Claws.
Adamantite. I haven't even brought out my big minions yet, so so you know.
How about stabbing you? Oh, I can't stab you. Yeah, I can!
Ouch!
Boom! That's what my Adamantite Claws got up in your business.
Ooh, can I heal? How do I heal?
I'm done.
Is that a thing I can do? Chat, help me, can I heal?
So, well, Keith is already saying you have 6 mana, so you have a lot of summoning power right now.
Okay.
And you
Yes, I
can
do.
bring in...
I see.
Something mimic, what if the song Get Your Head in the Game from High School Musical was put into this game? Well, it would be instantly freaking awesome.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. Oh, Orin Alchemist is saying, so that little swirl at the bottom left-hand side of the screen next to your deck, Jeffs, that is, you can cycle things out of your deck and redraw.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Just putting things places, just doing stuff. I'm just gonna attack you there a little bit. It's gonna hurt me a lot. Oh, wow. I'm almost dead.
That's right. You're in for it now, Jess.
How do I heal? How do I heal?
Don't worry about it. I think you're just gonna have to end your turn and watch.
I am. And
watch
die. Oh, no.
That's right. It's over for you. I'm sorry.
It might be.
BAM! That's right. Look at look at my sweet emblem. Dragon Man Victory. What are you seeing right now?
I see my anime girl with defeat.
Oh, I have like it's just Dragon Dude, and he's like, yeah, I did it. I'm gonna go to Arby's and I'm gonna get a beef and cheddar. They have Arby's in the world of Duelist, right? You think?
I hope not.
So
I'm upset that they're in like reality.
Before Keith Lee can get here and tell us what the actual story is in his game, let's completely make one up.
Yes.
And so let's just say that this is a grand spiritual battle to determine whether the Earth has Arby's or does not have Arby's. And I'm gonna go ahead. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Jess. Your anime lady was trying to prevent Arby's from happening. And yeah, so like she believed in a non-Arby's fantasy universe. But yeah, well, Atlanta RD here in the chat says clearly Magmar would go ham. He's going for the ham and cheddar, so that was a win for Arby's. What just happened right now?
Man.
I'm really sorry.
I'm gonna roast you, like roast.
You've drawn beef and cheddar advancement. All right. So you were the Abyssian host, right? You were Abyssian?
I was.
Yeah,
Which is a great name.
And everybody, like, the chat was freaking out for the Abyssian host. Everybody was like, yeah! Oh, Dirk13 says buy some packs. We have gold here, so we can buy some packs.
Oh, we do?
Alright. I'll buy some packs.
Get a spirit orb. I want a spirit orb, please. Thank you. How do I do that, though?
So, collection. Browse and build your own custom squads.
Oh, you have to drag it in? Okay. Right here. This one goes here.
New squad.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, look at this dude. Look at this guy.
Wow.
So I guess I'm selecting Kalios Zahn, who I guess is a cosplayer who really likes Chrono Trigger. Wait, crafting? What? Select or drag a card here to start crafting or disenchanting. What? Alright.
This is cool.
Get a
Click
spirit
on
orb.
Squad? New squad.
Hey, a spirit orb. I got a ball.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. Alright. That's how you... So, okay, yeah. Here we go.
I have so many spirit orbs.
Alright. Who's Deceptical? Deceptical sent me a invite to be pals. Hello, Deceptical. Alright, Mist Walking. Oh man, I'm gonna get up in this Owl Beast Sage. Give me him. Absolutely. I like that guy.
Oh, these names are great.
These names
Reaper
are great.
of the Nine Moons.
So,
Elucidator. Yeah.
This is Ash Meffet. Ash Meffet sounds like the lead singer of a punk band. Actually, I take that back. He is the lead singer of a ska band that only does covers of Tears for Fears songs.
Of course.
Everybody wants to rule the world. That's my trombone imitation, Jess, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. That was perfect. I knew exactly what you were doing.
You knew exactly what was going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So what am I doing when I'm clicking all these? I'm getting a bunch of spirit orbs.
So these are all... God, these sprites are so awesome. I love every single one of these sprites.
They're really pretty.
Alright. So I just keep buying cards.
Yeah, we have a lot of gold.
Yeah, like, we have a lot of gold here. Showing 0 of 0 spirit orbs. Showing 1 of 1 spirit orbs. Showing 2... Oh, I bought 2. So wait, if I put 2 in there... I can't put 2 in there.
You can't, it's... Yeah,
so we're just... Orb Weaver. Nice.
Ooh, Mechazor. Okay, that sounds fun.
Okay. Like God, so automatically, Keith's Counterplay has nailed something that I understand, even though I am not a collectible card game guy. I think you need to nail that dumb pleasure of opening a pack of cards. Like, you have to, like, capture the, like, got it, need it, oh my god, that's amazing, oh, this is a bullshit card, but my friend wants this bullshit card, so I'm gonna con him out of the really good card that I want by giving him this bullshit card. Right. And I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. And, like, just seeing the orb break open, and then it's like, I got this, and I got this. Like, I got a Flame Blood Warlock. Alright, I'm gonna make a deck here. I have 44 cards. So I have... How do we
see where the cards are? Let's
new squad. And I'm going to start with, the white... Oh, Duelist Panda is breaking down some important stuff for us. The white cards are common, blues are rare, purples are epic, and orange are legendary.
Okay.
Simply Monk says, you said bullshit card and got a Jax. That is not a coincidence. So I guess I have to put Jax in my deck now, guys.
Okay, do I have to click New Squad?
Yeah, click New Squad. Okay. And my new squad name is, Bullshit Cards for Life.
Okay, good.
For life.
Mine is Chamber of Secrets, clearly.
Nice. There's a question for everybody in the chat who's telling us about things. So why is Jax bullshit? Like, are you saying Jax is crazy overpowered, or do you hate Jax? I must know. Oh no, I'm gonna be this giant spear sucker. Xerix Starstrider, he looks like a frickin' bruiser.
Max of 3 of a card in... Okay, so you can only have 3 of each card in your deck, like if you have multiple ones.
Alright, so now I have to find Jax. Dirk13 says he's not gonna tell me, he's just like, you'll see. No, everybody's saying, okay, he sucks, but he's way too awesome. Arn Alchemist says I need to play to understand. Alright guys, I'm in. Now I gotta find him. I gotta find Jax. Where are you, Jax?
Come here, Jax.
Jax, join me. Where is he? Deathblighter.
Let's see. Airdrops. Okay. I'm not sure. I like the sound of that. I don't know what it does, but I like it.
Shield Oracle. Veil Hunter.
So
the cards
we're
this is so
seeing
awesome.
are only ones that like go with whatever general we have, or are they just all of our cards?
Guys, why is Jax Darkman from the movie Darkman? Am I really old? Does nobody know Darkman?
I don't know what
Jeff?
you're talking about.
It's an old Liam Neeson movie.
I'm sure it is.
You know what? I'm done. I'm done with you, Jess.
Yeah,
Go.
well.
Give him friendly minion +5 and flying. Yes. I wish I could just like. Is there like an add all thing?
I don't think so. I like this guy. Oh, cool.
Atlanta RD, and Deceptical and Something Mimic are all giving Darkman shoutouts now. So take that, Jess.
So what's the Mechazord? Like, what canon of Mechazord? Opening Gambit. Oh my gosh. All these things!
Portal Guardian has, like, 0 attack, and he's an awesome defender, so I'm gonna bring him in. This is like... So, what I like about this so far is, like, obviously you and I don't know... Primus Fist! Yes! Done! Give me that guy. You know, like, obviously we don't know the niceties of strategy. Like, we're just kind of, like, making this up as we go.
Yeah.
But... I like that all of the things, like, we clearly understand what it wants us to do. Without, like, we didn't need, like, the beginner, like, nightmare book to be like, oh, wait, do I already have Flame Blood Warlock in there? I do. We don't need, like, to get out a dictionary to teach us how all of this is supposed to work.
It's pretty straightforward. I like it, yeah.
I like having the search bar too. I guess you really have to have that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Veil
That's smart.
Hunter.
Oh, so I can do multiple of some of these, right? Okay, so like this one, this one.
Oh, double click adds the card right away. Thank you, Orin Alchemist.
Oh.
That's good. That's good to know. Get
Yeah,
a
I
little
was
of that.
tracking and dropping.
Me too, big time.
That's not
Owl Beast
bad, though.
stage, hell yeah! I want all the Owl Beast stages. And a Frostbow Naga, and a Light Bender, and a Young Flamewing. Young Flamewing is what they call me on the amateur racing circuit.
That's a lie.
Jess, you can't prove that that's a lie. That's true. Young
Bet I
Flamewing
could.
is what they call me in Mississippi. When I come down and I race the back roads where we used to run hooch as a family.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Prove that what I just said isn't true, Jess.
I'm filing a Freedom of Information Act request right now.
Dear
Department... Wait.
Dear Department of National Security.
I have a question.
Was Anthony Agnello a moonshine runner in the 1970s? No, he was not alive. Sincerely yours,
there we go.
the NSA.
The NSA.
And I'll be like...
See, that's the cool thing now, though. I don't even have to file the request. The NSA just knows I'm wondering.
Like, shut up, NSA.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I think wait, how do I know how many cards I can add?
You can have 40.
Yeah, where's my counter, though?
There's a thing right at the top of your thing.
It get...
That says, like, you have, like, 0 of 40. So guys, it's
Mine
4 p.m.
fades away.
It's 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and if you are just joining us, my name is Anthony John Agnello, streams producer at Engadget.com. I am joined today by Engadget editor Jess Condit.
Hi.
Hello, Jess!
Hi.
Jess is one of my favorite people on the face of the earth, and Jess is one of her own favorite people on the face of the earth, so it's convenient. We are playing the new collectible card game that is also a strategy game in the style of Skulls of the Shogun or Advance Wars or Final Fantasy Tactics, a strategy RPG made by Counterplay Games. Jess, is your deck ready?
It's ready.
Yeah, I just made a bunch of crap, and so
Yeah, me too.
I am going to challenge you, and as I challenge you, select a deck. Where is my decks? Oh, bullshit cards. Yeah, there we go. Bullshit. Bullshit cards
It's
for
the
life.
first one, yeah.
It's the first one. And I am going to call in Keith Lee, who is one of the creators of Duelyst. And Keith's going to tell us all about his game. And I think I know what my very first question for Keith is going to be once we loop him in here.
Mm-hmm.
Starting hand. No, I don't want that. Replace.
Replaced.
Replace. I want this.
That works.
Keith, are you with us? My very first question for Keith is going to be once we loop him in.
What's up, guys?
Oh, there he is.
There
Hello,
we
Keith.
go.
How you doing, man? Keith,
Fantastic.
I'm getting a little bit of a feedback from the stream itself. Could you turn the audio on that down just a touch for me?
Great.
Awesome. Keith, welcome everybody. Everybody in the chat, we have Keith Lee on the line now. And Keith, so I guess, what is up with Jax? I got Jax, and everybody is freaking out about Jax, so what is going on with that? Who is Jax?
Right now, so the cool thing about Jax is anytime you summon Jax, not only does he appear, but he has 4 little minions that appear in each corner of the battlefield.
Oh,
so
hell yes.
They're ranged units too, so they can attack you anywhere on the battlefield. So they're pretty strong. So you need to find a pretty solid counter for that. So that's why people like it. The second reason is that the first time you Jax right now, if someone else tries to Jax you afterwards, since if they are occupying or squatting on those corner tiles, then basically they can't Jax effectively.
I like that Jaxing is a verb. I love that Jaxing is a verb. That is the best. Keith, there is a lot of love for you in the chat right now. The Robot Rocker and Dirk13 and Quick Installation. I think these are all Duelist lovers that are very excited that you're hanging out today.
Yeah, our team and also a lot of other folks are just really excited that you guys are playing it, and we'd love to share anything that you guys would like to learn.
Well, so I'm very curious about how the game came about. I read a feature over at Polygon about sort of the how you and Emil came together to meet and start to develop the project. But tell me more about what sort of interested you in building this type of game. I'm fascinated by that. You know, as you and I were talking about earlier, I'm very into strategy RPGs like this, like the phase that we're in right now. I love, but I'm not really a card game guy. And now that I'm actually playing it, I'm like, oh wait, this is a natural fit. This makes so much sense. So what appealed to you about making these two things?
So the big thing for us was growing up in Asia. I came to the States probably when I was in high school, and I was completely addicted to playing Final Fantasy Tactics when I came here, and also Fire Emblem, and we would pass around our DS to play Advance Wars in the office, and I love turn-based strategy games, and we all love the depth of being able to build top-down strategy games. So sort of our inspiration was, how can we make this game competitive? Because we've all enjoyed single-player experiences and we love the story, but how can we make this into a game where we can play against other people and to make it competitive? Because a lot of us love to play RTSs as well. So we play Warcraft 3. I think some of some of us have clocked like close to 10,000 hours of Warcraft 3. So for us, we wanted to get our competitive fix. We also wanted a game that would last a long time and that people can watch and enjoy and not just go through a single player experience, which I love, but we really wanted to try something different. So this is sort of our kind of baby. It's like the Duelist is a competitive strategy game, and it focuses on tactical combat. Positioning does matter. It's not just a card game, but also we wanted to have the accessibility and the collectability of CCG. And so like games like Hearthstone and things like that. So I think this is a really kind of cool combination, and we're really excited. It's very unique.
It's really... So Jess and I were just talking about how, like, you, like, automatically when you're getting packs, when you're getting your spirit orbs and getting 5 cards out of it, you tap into that sort of physical joy of a collectible card game. But how... And, like, you know, feel free to get technical, but how do you go about making sure that it doesn't feel cheap for the player, that they're when they open a pack, they're getting something that they can actually use, and that things aren't too reliant on chance?
So right now we actually have 6 factions and over 300 different types of cards. So they're kind of split into spells and battle units and artifacts and things like that. And the thing that we focus on is ensuring that every time that you open up a spirit orb, that you're guaranteed at least 1 rare out of the 5 cards that you receive. And so we also feel like that the way that this approach works is really cool, because sometimes you might be fixated on playing a particular faction, and then after a while you start to accrue a bunch of other really cool cards that people are talking about. And then this invites a lot of replayability, and also actually in a weird way, it allows people to actually experiment more than if you just did something similar to an LCG model in a board game where you're just buying a particular pack with every unit on a certain faction. Then in general, most people would just lock into that faction and they won't want to experiment as much anymore.
So Keith, I have another question. Why do I suck, and why is Jess kicking my ass this time?
I don't know if I am.
I actually, no, Jess, so before I asked Keith that, I thought, like, I was just gonna get smoked. But I automatically am sitting here thinking, like, why did I put so many cards that cost so much mana to summon into my deck?
Well,
Not
and you
very
just backed
smart.
yourself into a corner. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, backed myself into a corner, or lured you into a corner, Jess?
Did you? Is that what you just did?
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened right now.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Stop! What did I tell you about hitting young Flamewing? My namesake from the racing circuit. Alright? Stop doing it. Alright.
Sorry.
So, Keith, I am curious, the maps that Jess and I have seen so far, and this is only our second match, obviously, but, so the 2 maps that we've been on have, like, been in these very aesthetically different arenas. You know, we were talking earlier, like, it's a beautiful game, the sprites are beautiful, and it's very good looking, but the layout of the mana collection points were in the same places. Is that always the case?
The mana collection, the mana springs that you see at the start are always on the same place. So if you're the first player 1, you actually always start on the left side, and as player 2, you always start on the right. And typically for most games that are based on positioning, the first mover will generally always have an advantage. And if you play even CCGs or competitive games, the first mover will generally win statistically. And so as a result, the mana springs are actually put in such a way that it affords a higher probability that the second mover can succeed in the game. And so right now, actually, our balance is pretty good. Our first mover to second mover advantages. And that's why you notice that the mana spring is actually closer to the player 2.
Keith, we do have a question here from Insta Hipster Hulk, which is a great Insta Hipster Hulk. I love that name, by the way. Instant Hipster Hulk wants to know, what is your release date yet? He wants to know if there's a beta. So, like, tell me a little bit about the timeline for Duelist. Is this, I know we're playing in alpha right now. I know you guys had a successful Kickstarter not too distant in the past. So what is the timeline where somebody's just going to be able to, like, fire this up, give you some money, and play the game for anything?
Right now, we're still in closed beta, so it requires a key, and our platform right now is on the browser, but we're actually much more focused on our desktop client, which will be for the PC, Mac, and Linux, and we expect to release the desktop client in 3 to 4 weeks from now. And so we would have it available later down the line on Steam whenever the time is right. But basically, people will be able to download our game on our website and be able to play and install it on their desktop and just be able to load it up, and eventually it'll be on Steam. So it's not far off, and we plan to transition from closed alpha to a closed beta very soon as well. There's just a couple features that we're really excited to finish up before we kind of market as a closed beta product. But it's in weeks, not months.
So I'm curious, why are you so focused on building up the client? Because obviously you want people to just sort of be like, all right, I'm going to play Duelist now. I want to fire up Duelist. But just right now, Jess and I, like, both sort of were able to just jump into the game very easily by playing it in a browser window. And so let's start with, why are you guys so dead set on getting that client made first?
So the browser version that we created was originally designed so that we can push out a lot of design iterations and updates and patches actually relatively easily on the browser. And we always have the intent of making it cross-platform, in the sense that if you want to take a lunch break at work and you don't want to have the client, you can still load up your Chrome browser and play the game. But we also feel that if we do have a desktop client, it allows people to focus, because usually if you're playing on the browser, it's much more easily to get distracted. You're hopping around different tabs. You might forget about our game because it is on the browser. And it's just really important that in terms of discoverability as well as accessibility, that it should be on Steam and other sort of more, I mean, for us, we're part of the PC master race ultimately, and for us, that's how we like to play. We like to be focused on a single game, and we feel that other people are similar to us and they'd rather play it. And it also allows us to enhance the PC version in the long run. So if we want to improve it, have a more enhanced version, we can do that on the PC, since we have more hard drive space and things like that.
Yeah, it's funny, like, that's where I was really going with that question, is because in my head I automatically think, like, I would be way more likely to play a game that's just the game rather than playing something in a browser window. And I don't know why that is. It's probably, like, just the way I've been playing games for so long. But I had that feeling, that moment of being like, oh, well, I definitely like this game, but I'll be more likely to play it if it's presented to me in a different way. And that stigma is very strange. Jess, are you like that? Do you find yourself shying away from browser games?
Not that I shy away from them, but like something like this, it's very dense, obviously. So this is scary to kind of jump into, right?
Right.
Blindly, like we're doing right now. I'm very glad that I have a friend here to walk through it with me.
Hey, Jess, how about the fact that you're about to get jaxed? Because he just showed up in my deck. Bam! Jax! Oh wow! There are all those ranged units.
Try it out. You're gonna like it.
Oh.
I don't think I can I make him do something yet?
There. You should put him there because you don't want him on a corner.
Right. Yeah, he's in. And I just took away half of your general's life, Jess. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you did.
You think about it. Where are my other characters? Oh, you killed them all. I gotta get out of here.
But no matter what, we're still going to support the browser. We, as mentioned before, we do want people to be able to have every possible way to play our game, whatever fits sort of like their own personal day-to-day. And, the thing for us, too, is that we really wanted to make this game unique. And actually one of the big selling points for us is that we focused a lot on very short matches. Because like most tactics games, like even Advance Wars, the games that are much bigger,
those
like
matches are
Magic,
so long.
like that.
So long,
Yeah,
those
super
matches.
Long. Yeah, And we never really want to do games that last for multiple days. So actually our average playtime for games right now are approximately 10 to 12 minutes. And we wanted everything to be super pressed, punchy, action-packed. The whole goal is that if you need to run to dinner and you have like 20 minutes, you can just load it up and go play a quick game, get your competitive fix, feel like there's a lot of people that are playing it as well.
All right, so Joseki TV here in the chat says Windstopper counters the hell out of Jax. So do you have do you have that, Jess? Do you have Windstopper?
I think so, yeah.
So to explain that a bit, right now your little mini Jax in the corners, they're ranged units. So essentially you can attack any enemy minion or unit on the battlefield. The Windstopper is something that counters and negates that. You have to kill the Windstopper before it counters any range units, essentially. So you have to kill the Windstopper. Yeah. So now you can't really attack with your range units. So that's why he was mentioning that.
Jess, stop trying to like... Oh man, Jess, my samurai just wanted to be buddies.
I have enough friends.
Oh, come on.
Well, I have I'm so low on health and I don't know how to get more.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I don't have any health cards.
I don't think you need any health, because I'm going to call back.
Is that the only way to get health? Is to like draw a health card or whatever?
Well, it just really depends on sort of how you build your squads. Some squads are designed to be very fast, very aggressive, designed to burn the opponent very quickly. There are other people that like to do something quote-unquote more like control, where you're really trying to control the entire battlefield and really play a mid to long game. And so sometimes people might have healing cards or units that could heal you and things like that. But at the same time, we actually try to avoid having too many types of healing types of cards in the long run, because we want to ensure that a game lasts 10 to 12 minutes. Like, we don't want a situation where people are just constantly healing their own generals for too long.
Yeah.
So what, that's so cool, because as soon as Jess was like, how do I heal? I was like, you don't want to heal. The whole point is to finish the match as quickly as possible, which is cool, which is really cool. I like that a lot. What other things would you say, Keith, you have to consider when you're making a game like this that the average person's probably not going to think about? Like, what do you have to make sure that the game is doing that doesn't seem very obvious?
So one of the things that wasn't entirely obvious, but once we bring it up, it is actually a bit more, is the fact that we want to make sure this game is very spectator friendly. So as a result, if you look at some of the games, like other games where you have to understand what's happening off the screen, we don't have anything like that. All the data and all the information is presented to you in a single screen. And also, since our game isn't 3D, you don't have to rotate and figure out where you are and stuff like that. So the time to actually invest to make a spectator-friendly game is hard, and also how to make the game very accessible but deep at the same time. And actually, maybe another thing that was pretty hard for us is just making sure that positioning matters a lot. So it's one of those things where people love to move their units and play games like Fire Emblem and move and attack, but we have to balance that with also complexity, because we want to make sure that the game doesn't become super skill-based, in a sense that we do want the game to be accessible still to people and to be easy to understand and to pick up the games pretty quickly.
Bam, Jess!
I'm dead!
What up now? What up now? I didn't even use Jax! Jax got wind stopped, and these are my favorite. I love verbs. I love verbs that come out of games. Like, I don't get to say anything got wind stopped in my average life, Keith. That's not an experience I get to enjoy. But
ooh, she looks, my character looks like Quinn from League of Legends. She has her bird and everything. And there's even a character called Jax in League of Legends. I can't help it.
They're all related to Jax from Mortal Kombat, Jess.
Well, clearly
they're all related. So, Keith, now you've seen Jess and I fight twice. You've seen us fight 2 times here. Oh, wait a second. Something Mimic and Duke have brought up some very important questions here. and Punk Rock Bob as well. We're gonna get there. So actually, I'm gonna ask the practical question first. So you're very focused, Keith, right now on the PC client. The client's gonna work on Linux and Mac and PC. Are we going to see Duelyst on any other platforms in the future? Will there be an Xbox version, a PlayStation 4 version? You know, will that show up at some point, hopefully?
Definitely. So it really depends on how well our game performs on the PC, but if everything is going well, then we would love to continue to grow in terms of platform, because we already built a solid game, and now it's all about having more discovery and exposure for our game. So we definitely have a lot of plans to launch it on the console, and our priority is also allowing people to play this game on mobile if they want to. But our strategy is more about making the best game on one platform. Don't try to build like multiple planes while you're flying in the air, and just get it right, get people excited about this, and then build it out for other platforms.
I love it. That is the best philosophy, I think. Like, just making sure that you have a game that is what it needs to be and running on one thing first. So Punk Rock Bob and Duke and Something Mimic in the chat, though, have a very important question, which is, in the event that you did make this for PlayStation 4, what would the light bar on the controller do?
The light bar.
Dead silence.
I love the silence.
Dead silence is what that question gets every single time. Either dead silence or laughter.
Right?
We actually have this really cool algorithm that we're thinking about for the light bar, which we can do some things where we have a couple secrets. You know, our background has been working on Diablo, and we're big fans of secret elements like the cow level and things like that. So from our perspective, I think we could do something with the light bar and find some ways to create some secrets in our game.
Duelist Panda says the light bar instantly summons Jax, obviously.
Clearly.
I don't know how that would work, Duelist Panda. I don't know if like the game would just be like, oh, there's a light bar, everybody gets Jax all the time.
Jax. Yeah.
Jess, is it my turn? Is it my turn
We'll
now?
have a secret panda. We'll have a secret panda level with battle pets. Maybe
Yes, absolutely. This is such a silly thing to ask about, especially like the game like justifies itself. It's really pretty. Fighting each other is really fun and easy to understand out the gate. Like the fact that Jess and I were just able to be like, this is what does this is what does that. Let's do it. All that's there. But like, Keith, how much concern have you guys had with being like, there's a story and like we need to come up with justification for this, and like, was that important to you guys at any point? Did you want to make sure there was Duelist lore?
It's actually our #1 priority. So everything that you see here, there's actually, our goal from day one has been to build a very unique world. We don't want to use standard fantasy tropes, and we actually have thought through a lot of the factions, and we wanted to build a very unique art style, and ultimately our story and lore are slowly going to be unlocking. And so we spent a lot of deliberate time around the story and lore, and we're really excited. We have some really cool campaigns and lore codices that are coming up, and that's why you see in our game in the main menu there's a codex button, and that's like related to story and lore and things like that. And we want to expand it as much as we can, and we have actually another crazy meta layer on top of this game that we're going to add in the future that revolves more around the storyline, similar to Guild Wars 2 in terms of like a living story idea.
So why?
I love that.
What is interesting to you about making sure a game has deep lore? Because I would say, Jess, and you know, call me crazy, like when we have people on the show, I would say it's half and half. You know, that we have people who say they're really, really interested in story, and I know that Jess and I are both very invested in story in games, but then I would say that half of the people that come on the show, half of the developers are not into it. Like, story is secondary. So why is story such a priority for you, Keith?
For our team, consistency and the fact that people realize that the developers actually care about the story and want to invest and make everything consistent really is the heart and spirit of our game. Like to us, like we feel that if you play our game, that you're seeing a window into these developers that put all their time into years into a game, and they care a lot about every little element, and you're seeing a piece of art in some ways. And it's a window into like all of our developers, like heart and soul. And part of that is the story, it is the lore, it's about our own personal experiences and how we express that in our game. Like I don't think any of us would want to build a game just to, we would rather than work at a larger company. For us, it's all about the creative expression, and part of that is the story and the lore. For us, personally.
How was your experience? How have your experiences working at, you know, a giant publisher like Blizzard? How did that inform your work on this? You know, you came out of this operation where it's spending years and years and years and millions of dollars on developing just a few things over a very long period of time, serving an enormous audience. And now you're making something that's much more personal, much more of a passion project. How does that change your creative process? How did one inform the other?
So to summarize that in a nutshell, I think it really depends, 99% of it depends on the developer's view in terms of, do they want to work at a larger company where they know that they're going to be able to create the best game in that category that millions of people will love, and it's a collaborative effort of hundreds of people building that vision. And it's all about the end result. It's all about the game that comes out that everyone's playing. Now, from our standpoint, the reason why we love being indie is the fact that it's all about the day-to-day for us. It's all about the experience of being able to build something from nothing, and the excitement of building something that's completely unique and completely creative. And that's what fires us up, is to be excited and to be able to wake up every morning to be able to build something fresh and unique and cool. So to us, it's all about the journey. It's not about the end result. And I think those are the two biggest differences that I've kind of personally experienced, having worked at Insomniac Games, building like Ratchet and Clank series, all the way to Diablo. And I think that for us, we just love to be able to build something together with a small team with a really tight vision and be happy every day.
Do you think you'll ever go back to that big studio system? Or is this it, man? Are you tasting the sweet joy of independent life?
It's a tough one. I think that if the vision is to work all together, I think there's a lot of things that aren't sexy about working at a large company. But if everyone's excited about building a game that's going to dominate a category, then perhaps. But at this point in time, there are so many games that we want to build that are story-driven or is completely unique. We do not want to cater to, we want to build stuff for ourselves. Like we will never just say, hey, if someone doesn't like our game, that's fine with us, or they don't like certain things, that's okay. We just want to be able to express like how we feel about it. And I think it gets harder for us when we work for a larger company, because you have to cater to, in some ways, the lowest common denominator in terms of people complaining about certain things. Right. So you have to be more cognizant of that.
A clear vision, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What,
so I'm not good at strategy games. Tactical strategy games.
Jess, are you making?
I like them.
Are you making excuses? Is that what's happening right now?
No. I'm just, laying it out. If it wasn't already obvious.
You're just throwing that out there.
Just letting you know.
You don't like it, you throw it right back.
Yeah.
Is it because
this game does?
Go ahead, Keith.
Go ahead.
No,
so this
please.
game does take a little bit of time, but we are also building out a lot of really cool proving grounds and trials and sort of challenges for you to slowly learn some of the combos and some of the spells. I mean, there are over 300 different units and spells and artifacts, so there's just no way to understand all the different things, and we just want to slowly get people to learn some of the concepts and make it still punchy. But I do agree, it is a pretty complex game in some ways.
So, all right, as you've watched Jess and I play this, have you gotten the impression that we're picking up what we're supposed to be doing well? Are we playing appropriately, or are we sort of really proving ourselves scrubs here?
So typically what I've seen people do is we have a sandbox mode, which essentially is like a way for you to play around with your first player or second player. So what people will generally do is we've designed our starter decks to be pretty good in terms of being able to jump right in and play with a lower ranked player on our ladder. But most people will then say, okay, I kind of saw what these other guys did. I'm going to go into the sandbox, build a deck, kind of see like how these mechanics work, and then they'll just slowly kind of get an understanding while playing our challenges or tutorials as well later, and then they can hop back in. So it's incremental, and I think that we're making a big effort to make sure that people can understand the game better.
Jess, did you notice that you summoned someone that healed me?
Is that what that was?
Yeah, you summoned that little healer, and then they healed me.
Heal 2 damage. Oh, heal.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Not deal.
No, heal. That's not deal.
Not deal.
The opposite of deals.
That is not what I wanted. I should have read that more closely. Dang. I was like, oh, sweet. That's a shame. Oh, well.
Yeah. So thank you.
I was just wrecking you so hard that I wanted to give you a little boost.
Oh, you just wanted to make sure that I was feeling okay.
Like, it was clearly on purpose, yeah.
Yeah, like that everything was good.
Absolutely. Only an idiot would heal the enemy general. Like, that's...
Well, maybe it was an olive branch. Maybe you were trying to reach out and try something a little different. Keith, does peace work? Is peace... Can you give peace a chance in Duelist? Probably not.
Give what?
Peace a chance? Can you call a truce? Can you be like, hey, let's just trade cards instead of beating the shit out of each other?
Not right now. So most of our game is a competitive multiplayer, but we do have we're considering that, but our primary mode right now is a monthly seasonal ranked ladder. So you can ladder up. You start at rank 30, and there's 6 actual divisions that you can join, and you can start to play against other people, and it'll reset every month. But what's really cool is that once we launch our game, we do plan to release new content, new cards, like every month. And then the other thing too is that we actually have a new mode called the Gauntlet, and essentially you can play against other people, and you can actually create a draft deck, which means that you can choose a bunch of different cards without owning those cards, and you run into the Gauntlet, and essentially you have to survive as long as possible, and you get better rewards. But if you die 3 times, then you get pushed out of the Gauntlet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's almost like, in a way, kind of like a survival roguelike in some sense, but in this sort of format. And as you get deeper and deeper and you get more wins, you can get cooler rewards, and that means that you can get cooler cards and things like that. So that's sort of the loop.
Hey Jess, I bet you think you're pretty awesome for winning that round, huh?
It feels pretty good. Even though I healed you, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You feel pretty...
I healed you, and you still lost.
Hey Jess, shut up!
Hey Anthony, how's it feel?
Damn it! God, come on! Wow, Keith, I did not equip myself. I did not equip myself well that last time. So you know what, everybody? I think what we'll do, Jess, you and I... So we're what, 2-1? Is that where we are?
That is correct.
That's correct. So Jess and I will play one more time, and we'll see if we can tie it up. And if there's enough time after this match, I say we'll hop in and we'll play somebody from the community. Yeah. So, folks, if you are one of the people who are watching and you caught us, and friended us up, we will hopefully get a community match running as soon as we're done here. And I finally get first turn, because Jess kicked my ass. Why did I just hurt myself? Ah!
You did.
I summoned a Flameblood Warlock, deals 3 damage to both generals.
Oh.
So that's right, Jess. I'm bringing us down right from the start.
That seems like a last ditch. You are ahead. Their general has 3 or fewer health points, and then you use that guy. And it's like, oh, no.
Maybe I just want to watch the world burn, Jess. Maybe that's how. Maybe that's how I do
clear.
it.
You do, yeah.
Keith, how many cards have you guys put into the game and watched people start using them and then realize that just doesn't work at all? Like, what have you had to take out?
So, in terms of taking out certain cards, there have been less cards that we completely remove, but we might modify them. We actually do an update and a patch every Tuesday, and we've been consistently doing that since January. So we will track and measure some of the cards. We look at the forums, and we also observe how people are playing on streams. And so we spend a lot of time kind of looking at what we call like the meta game. And so the meta game is not so much even the tactical match that you're playing now, but it's just all the sort of cards that are out there and how they all interact with each other. Like the way we kind of approach it is as game developers, we're basically we're trying to build a really beautiful bonsai tree. And we kind of plant the seeds in the past. We make some assumptions on like what type of tree we want to build. And then after that, it starts to grow. But ultimately at this stage, what we try to do, we can't fully understand anymore all the things that are happening because there's so many people playing it, it's almost like a hive mind, and there's a lot of decisions and things that get created. And so the only thing that we can really do now is to prune and to really guide the direction where the branches go and just make sure that it's not lopsided or completely wonky, and essentially just let it grow on its own. It's really kind of, in some ways, community driven. We kind of see what people are doing. And the most important thing for us is just to ensure that it doesn't reduce the option space, design option space for us in the future, because we do have a lot of expansions coming up. We do have a lot of really exciting content that we're going to push out.
Does that, so the community, once you throw this game out into the wild, the players own it, and it seems that you guys are totally into that. I mean, but is it kind of nerve-wracking knowing that there are so many variables in this game that the community is really going to influence like pretty heavily, it seems? Is that a good thing, or yeah?
They do, and actually the thing that we've kind of observed is that if there's a lot of debate, if there's a lot of discussion, that actually means that the game is more balanced than if a lot of people agree. So if more people actually agree on everything, that means like it's become static. It's turned into chess. Like basically, you know everything. So for us, like if people are constantly debating and they're saying, because at the end of the day, these things aren't comparable. Certain units just cannot be compared to each other. They're incomparables, like a healing unit and a range unit. Like how do you really assess like which one is better? So they're all completely situational. And so the idea here is that we also have to let the community sort of communicate, and we really see if things are happening, and if there are issues, then we take our time to kind of observe it and see if it's really a true issue or if there are actually other things that are impacting that issue, but we're actually getting like a false positive or a false negative around that.
Jess, you're gonna get it so bad if I'm summon Jax. I'm so angry that Jax hasn't come back around. I miss him so much. I miss my Jax. Oh, precious Jax.
He'll be back. I can feel it.
But, you know, as you guys know too, for like competitive games, sometimes like we have to also be sure that we don't become too reactive right away, and we have to let things kind of settle, kind of like the imperfect imbalance where people might complain, but then people find ways and solutions organically to solve a problem that exists without us necessarily jumping right in to fix it. So.
Yeah, sometimes the community will complain, and that's kind of a good thing.
Atlanta RD in the chat has pointed out that I done got wind stopped again, but I know all about your wind stopper, Jess, and I'm gonna wind stop him right in the wind stopping face. That's what's gonna happen.
Do it.
I'm gonna.
Do it. I dare you.
I'm also gonna sacrifice my little flame golem dude here. Tired of him. He hurt us both. He hurt me deep down, Jess. That fire guy. I hate him.
It.
He's got to get out of here. Keith, one thing that sort of fascinates me about, you know, like you guys get to see your game change in real time because you, like you said, you get to see all these people, the way they play, and judge what needs to be changed based on what the community is saying. And that's such a far cry from the way the games that you played back when inspired this, things like Fire Emblem and Advance Wars and Final Fantasy Tactics. Those games were, like, at the end of the day, terribly balanced. They were deeply flawed. And part of the fun of playing those games, you know, obsessively, was finding the ways that they could be abused, you know? Like, finding ways, like, oh, well, look at this game-breaking thing I can do in this that, like, you know, will make me crazy overpowered or let me do something that's ridiculous. And I'm wondering, how do you make sure that you can preserve that sort of sense of bizarre fun that's born out of the game not working? Like, sometimes maybe it's better if something is really unbalanced or a little janky, which I know sounds crazy, but, you know, how do you sort
It's
of
fun.
yeah, how do you keep that old spirit in the game?
So to jump back to the first thing, I'm totally with you. You know, like most single-player games like Tactics, they're super fun, but essentially they're just gating you. Like designers gate you until you can level to a certain point where you can beat the next boss. And as you probably did, you would trap your healers because they're always like lower level and you want to improve their job. And then you just trap them somewhere so they can keep healing on the map so you can level up your healer first, right?
Yep.
So those are the type of thing, or you trap them so she can get the final like last kill. From our perspective, the interesting thing is that all of our cards are actually, a lot of it is by feel, and it's actually not by a spreadsheet. Like the moment that you start to build a game that's just a spreadsheet and it looks elegant on an Excel file is when the game actually isn't good anymore, because it really comes down to just some of the unique sort of punchy elements. And it's okay if certain cards are a little bit overpowered. Like people are complaining about jacks, but it's also a very unique mechanic. And so those are trade-offs that you have to take, and we can kind of see if there are other ways to kind of solve it if people are complaining too much about it. But to answer your question, we don't kind of do this crazy spreadsheet and kind of make sure that everything's like ultra balanced in that way. We kind of organically kind of build it.
God, that's such, man, like when somebody says we don't build based on a spreadsheet, I could not be happier. I just, that is the most encouraging sign in the world. Hey Jess, how's it going in there? Nice 7 life.
You know what?
Hey Jess, nice 7 life left.
Yeah, no, I'm working on it, okay? I know I got some issues. That's all I can do, alright.
That's amazing. You just totally stopped me from, like, ending this right now, though, which I'm pretty impressed about.
That was the plan. I don't know if it worked. I guess we'll see.
It kind of worked.
For now.
For now.
Probably just delaying the inevitable. It's okay.
So maybe this is a question for the chat as much as you, Keith. Have we built good decks? Like, it seems that we're good at fighting each other. Yeah, we built a terrible... No!
I can answer that one, no.
You built garbage!
Yeah, but
So
what's
Well,
the
I think
official
it's,
verdict?
yeah.
Am I already dead?
It's hard to say because I think that since you guys were, it's pretty much sort of like a random deck that you guys are building. So
Right.
I think generally most people will kind of think about sort of where they want to go first, like if they want to be aggressive or kind of have synergies around some of the units and how they work together.
Is he gone?
So I think those are like, of course, like later more advanced elements.